J Dubs from Twitter says, at what age did you stop comparing yourself to your mentors and heroes in order for you to be happy with who you are?
Do you ever stop? I don't ever stop comparison.
Yeah, no. It's a comparison is really frustrating, and I haven't stopped, but I'm definitely like shedding that as I get older. That's what happens in the 40s. That I did never subscribe to the idea that the 20s had a certain thing and the 30s had a certain thing and the 40s. But at least for me, the 40s have really led to I really am caring less and less about other people, and that I'm really only striving to better something than what I did already. Do you know what I mean? I want my next record to be better because I want it to be better than the last record I made, as opposed to I want it to be better because this is success. Those people do that. So it's a forever.
I think it's always going to be there. I mean, for me, it's how I deal with those feelings of comparison. So instead of like, envying someone's picture on the beach in Australia or something, like I might say to myself, oh, that's cool. I hope one day I can be able to do that. But like, I don't let that pull me in a different direction than I was already heading. And I think that's where the comparisons really start to mess people up, is like I'm going this way, I'm going this way. And then you look over and you're like, oh, no, I'm going this way, I'm going this way. And then you look over and then you can never actually choose a direction because you're constantly comparing yourself to others. I think comparisons are important because in a sense, like, it gives you something to shoot for. The person going through the airport who is just like, life is just pinging off of them and they're enjoying every single moment and taking it all in, and all the bad stuff is just, being deflected. Like, yeah, that's a fantasy. But I mean, it's not horrible to like shoot for that. It's not horrible to aim for that.
It's also only coming from you. Right. So it's the same thing of like when you're driving in traffic and you're pissed at somebody because you think they're an idiot. That's coming from you. It's the same thing. It's like that person is a mirror for the thing that it's just like what your partner is. They give you a reflection back of what it is that you actually want. So when you see someone and you project on them this experience, you say to yourself, well, that person doesn't actually matter in this situation. What matters is like, apparently I want an ease of use in my life that I have not given myself. How do I go about getting that? I want to not sweat my way through the fucking airport.
I like that, man.
It feels like, and that's what's so great about other humans, but what also makes them inconsequential, because that woman could have been anyone.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's me. I'm telling my story, and I'm using people as either to hate myself, love myself, or grow. Yeah. And it's like,
well, dude, when you start to compare yourself, you can ask that deeper question of like, why am I comparing myself? What is it about this person that I want, and why do I want that? And when you start,
the why is so important too, because we often think, like, before we turned all the mics on and stuff, we were talking about like doing shows at Bogart's, and it's like Ryan was like, I was as a kid,
my first concert,
I
saw Bogart's. It was Everlast opening up for Sugar Ray, which I went there to see Everlast and had no idea that Sugar Ray is actually a freaking awesome performer. Like Mark
McGrath is one of the best.
Did an amazing show. I was like, oh, like this is why Everlast is opening up for it. I mean, but anyway, it's like, watching that concert and thinking like, maybe one day I'll be up on the Bogart stage.
And then you were, and by the way, everything that could have went wrong.
Right. The sentiment was still there, though. I was still able to appreciate, like, well, I am here, Bogarts. I'm up on stage.
You had the opportunity to be grateful for it, but I think there's a sort of detente between what the two of you were talking about here. So Ryan, you're saying, sometimes comparison can be good because it gives you something to shoot for, and what Matt is saying is comparison can be toxic because it turns you into this pinball that's just like, well, if I'll do what this person says, no, bing, I'll do what this person says, bing, and then all of a sudden you're like, you become directionless in a way, and I think where the two converge here is maybe what Matt is saying is like, well, I really am comparing myself to my future self in a way.
It's the only way to live your life.
As opposed to constantly like gazing in the rear view and saying, well, everything's screwed up back there. Well, like, yeah, it's okay to look behind you occasionally, but when we live in the rear view, then we're certain to crash.
There is something profound about like the person that I compare myself with the most is my future self. Like that's good, man.
Yeah. And the idea that comparison to other people, you have such a limited understanding of the other person that you're actually you don't actually know them, so you're not actually comparing them to, because you don't know them.
Right.
You don't even have any understanding.
You're just comparing
of
a moment of their lives.
You are comparing your moment of your life, because you don't even know. They might be so uncomfortable in those flowing clothes. They might have the shingles underneath there, and they might be so uncomfortable, and they just don't show it on their face.
Well, it's funny. So downstairs, that there's the mirror windows outside.
Yeah.
So we're at this WeWork building here, and
I mean, the mirrors that, like, when I walk by, I always suck in and look at myself walking. Like,
but it's funny because I'll just work down there sometimes. Like, I'm on my computer, I see people walk up, and it's one of those sort of one-way mirrors. So I see them, and it's always the most beautiful people who are scrutinizing themselves the most. And so, like, I see the people in the mirror, and I'm like, you don't need to look in the mirror. You are dressed perfectly, but there's this insecurity there. And then I see the guy who's 70 pounds overweight with the gut hanging out over his cargo shorts, and he just goes strolling by, because it's like, and you're like, the person who looks perfect should have the confidence of the guy who's just strolling by.
So, and to add another level to this, not to go, but like somebody who looks pulled together in a way that's appealing to us, right? That's work. And so of course they're going to walk by, and they're going to survey their work. They focused on that, right? So they're going to walk by, look, and be like, hey, how did I do? What else can I fix here? Is this job, just like we would if I'm a songwriter and I want to, or whatever. And so all it is that they've put the emphasis on that as something that's important to them, and that's one of the reasons they look so good, right? Is one of the reasons that they look so good is that they focus on looking good.
That's the priority.
And so of course they're going to be the ones that look in the mirror, because they're checking their how are we doing this? Is this good? I got this. And that's why they look that way. I used to think people just magically woke up and looked amazing, and then social media has taught me that, like, beautiful people work real hard at being beautiful.
Right, but if you're not paying attention, it has taught you that beautiful people just wake up this way.
Of course.
Right.
Dude, I mean, how the delusion of waking up next to somebody in perfect white sheets with the light coming through in Los Angeles, and their, like, hair gets pulled up it's like whatever your thing is, it's like it meant that you can find that, and you can think, I don't have that. Why don't I have that? Because at my house, I got to fucking wash the sheets every week. At my house, I have cat hair on everything. Do you know what I mean? And then I start to think to myself, God damn, I don't have the thing where we wake up and we pull the sheets off, and then we get and have breakfast, and the plate looks a certain way, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do that. Actually, I just want to love the plate I have and the cat that shit on my rug, and I'm gonna live my life here, and I'm gonna find that here.